Palantir has a unique ownership makeup that puts them in the vast minority of large cap companies. They are owned largely by retail investors. That's you, that's me, rather than institutional buyers. Is that good or bad? Let's find out. Let me start off by saying that Palantir is in my portfolio. So looking at this chart, you can see that retail investors own nearly 2/3 of that stock, while institutional ownership is less than a quarter. This totally flips the script for large cap companies. Usually 80% is owned by institutions. Think mutual funds, pensions, insurance companies, and hedge funds. These investors buy and sell huge blocks of stock and are considered the whales on Wall Street. Smart money and more sophisticated than us average retail investors. So, who's right? Let's first get into why institutional ownership is so low. First off, Palantir is not in any of the S&P indices. Why? Because they have multiple share classes, and according to the S&P inclusion regs, that doesn't fly with them. So that rules out the S&P 400, 500, 600, and composite 1500. So that's a bummer. Any of those institutions that purchase stocks and ETFs of those important indices, they are out. How about the NASDAQ? Palantir is a software company after all, and they have a market cap of $52 billion, which would put them in the top 50 in that index. So this is pulled right from the index's eligibility criteria. They're cool with the multiple share classes, but they have to be exclusive to the NASDAQ, and Palantir is already listed on the New York Stock Exchange. So that index is out, along with associated ETFs like QQQ for many of our institutional investors. Maybe the institutions are shorting Palantir. Maybe they're bearish on the company. Let's take a look at their short interest. 3%. That's totally fine. Plenty of float, decent volume. Not worried. So generally speaking, it looks like the institutional buyers don't hate the stock. It's just largely not in their wheelhouse. Let's look back at the ownership chart. That's a healthy inside ownership stake, and it's largely driven by two people. Peter Thiel has about 7%, and the CEO, Alex Karp, has 2%. So we know that they are strongly motivated and have a tremendous amount of their net worth tied to this company. So now let's look at the largest cohort of ownership, that of retail investors like you and me. We're a very fragmented group that get our information from SEC filings like 10Ks and 10Qs, Reddit, pundits on TV, and of course, YouTube. I'd argue that we are a volatile group of shareholders, even mercurial. We as a class are more swayed by public sentiment and the news cycles, whereas I view the institutional buyers more focused on fundamental analysis and slower buying and selling decisions. So what does this mean for the stock in the near to midterm? I think it implies higher volatility. So for you options traders out there, this could be a great one to keep an eye on. Also, I think the success of this stock will be more tied to market sentiment and news cycles. Look at how much playtime Palantir got when they bought $50 million in gold bars. Yeah, it was kind of a crazy move, but honestly, it was only 3% of their cash balance. Not that big of a deal, but all the news cycles were analyzing it. Maybe just like yours truly was too. So this is how I think it will go. Management needs to prevent any PR fiascos. Those will have an outsized effect on the stock. No Robinhood-esque Vlad Tenev pay for order flow type of controversies. The company also needs to keep steady growth in top line and free cash flow. I don't think Main Street is too concerned with net earnings just yet for this growth company. And me personally, I'd love it if they continue to make wacky decisions that will get strong play in the media, just like those gold bar purchases. Maybe they hop into crypto next, but not Bitcoin like other companies, but go for Ether or ADA or Sol and cite the cross-border transactional ability of those tokens. I think that if they can stay the course for a couple of quarters, retail investors will stay interested, insiders will continue to hold their shares, and most importantly, institutional buyers will finally see the bright light that is Palantir and we've known all along. Let me know your thoughts on Palantir. Thanks for joining, and I'll see you on the next one.